Okay, well, yes, I'm going to try to find you. Okay.
Rahul Bad. I have a question. It states that raise small names.
Excuse me, I don't want to be rude.
Oh, excuse me, the black.
Okay.
Pardon me.
I gotta be with you.
Okay, in the black book it states that raise small name is Elul. And later on in the black book it states that Enlil is called Elul. So I guess my question is, what is the connection, if any, between these two beings having the same name and between the material that needs to be?
You mean these four beings, don't you?
Four beings?
Because whenever you say Re, you're saying Atum-Re, Atum-Re, and Amun-Re. And it depends on what node in ancient Egypt you were in at the time, and which one worshipped which deity. In some, let's say in Thebes, they had Amun-Re. So they refer to Amun-Re there as Re because Amun was understood. And if you went to Memphis, they had Atum-Re. And they just refer to him as Re. So therefore, all of the Anunnaki were raised. They all fall under the term Re. That did not apply to all of the Sumerians. All of the Neolithic Egyptians, before the word Egyptos was used, were referred to as Re. That did not refer to the dynastic period that came out of them. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. I have a question on the Black Book, page 33. Reference to further question like this. You said that you have mastered one, it's on page 33. You have mastered 1 and 2, and have traveled 3, 5, 7, and now you hold the key between 1 and 9. And I was trying to get a clear understanding of the number.
Not being a Freemason, you might not understand. But oftentimes in Freemasonry, they might ask an individual, how old are you? And the answer is 1, 3, right? 1, 3, or 5, right? And that's making a reference to which degrees of the ladder of Jacob they have climbed. So I'm making reference to any Freemason who comes across that book and says, how old are you? I said, well, I've already passed 1, 3, 5. And I went on to 7 and straight on up. They don't know. They don't get past 3 degrees. And those 3 degrees are 1, 3, 5. Enter for telegraph and masturbation. That's as high as they go. There's no such thing as 33 degrees in Freemasonry. There's no such thing as 32 degrees. The original degrees of Freemasonry are only 3 degrees. Everything else is honorary studies. If I'm telling Egyptians, we never gave them over 3 degrees. We never allowed them outside of persons, places, and things. And because they are the masters of most education system's destiny, everybody, Muslim, Christian, Jew, are all trapped under 3 degrees. Persons, places, and things. And you say, I'm going to take people to another level, I can do 7. Then at that point I say, and in the metaphysical or esoteric doctrine, you've been taught about the 7 seats, or chakras. Well, because the people who were teaching that science only had 7, you know, they don't know about the 9. Now I'm taking you from the 7 up to the next. You have to learn about the next 2 chakras, not just the one that's in the crown side. You get to the, like I said, you go to the ancient Egyptian word, you look at the dictionary, and the word brow seat. You get the Egyptian word Nir, which you also know is been translated as pyramid or central fire, right? It's like right there. They consider this the 6th point, the 3rd eye. Then they went to the crown with their 12 occult nerves, which represent the 12 signs of the zodiac. And in the center of there, they put the 7th seat, the crown chakra. When they get back to Egypt at the temple of Hathor, and they look on the ceiling toward the sky, and they see the calendar of Dendora, they notice that in the center of it is Tawaret. And Tawaret is a female deity. The Moors call her Zodiacus, the center of the sign of the zodiac. They also call her Minty. They got many different names. We see her standing in the center as the mother of mammals that are also reptilian. You know what I'm saying? So we have this degree of study. It takes us from Earth at 1, up the body, 3, on out the body, to 5, and straight on into the universe, to 7. And we keep on traveling, right? The zodiac represents our woman, the mother of all creation, the science of the universe, and Nuwapu, in actuality, is a feminine word in the ancient language, for science, sound, right, and reason. So those are key signatures to identify. And when you get the handbook, it's coming soon, right? You study a handbook. I may walk up to you one day and say, well, how old are you? And then you say, I'm 9. When you get 9, then you're born again. No Christian can be born again until he's 9 and see Christ, as they call him, Christos or Krishna, said, you must be born again. And when he asked, you mean I must go back into the womb? He said, no, you must be born of spirit and truth. You must be saved. You must receive grace and joy. You couldn't understand. Nicodemus couldn't understand where Jesus was coming from. Well, Jesus was after the order of Melchizedek, because Jesus was an Essenes. And the only Egyptian order he could find in all Judea were the Essenes up in Jordan. So he went there following John the Baptist, because he was after the order of Melchizedek, and the Essene order was the Egyptian order, and that's the only place those degrees were being conferred. You follow that? So he made that I am the way, the truth, and the life. He was telling them, come behind me, walk this path through this temple, and I'm going to give you this special guidance. I'm going to give you this special truth, some information that I got. It caused me problems in the temple, because when I came back from Egypt, I had to confront the rabbis and the priests, and I got in a great argument with them about these truths of Tawaret. Because I had to explain to them that the Torah or the Tanakh, that holy book, is nothing but Tawaret, the female in the center of the zodiac, ready to accept the Egyptian mysteries, because they had already set up a doctrine. So he had to put aside what he learned in the ancient Egyptian order while he studied ancient Egypt and submerged himself amongst the Essenes. And at that point, he was stepping down in degrees. So you'll come around again, I promise you, and you'll read it and you'll laugh. And then I'll walk up to you sometime between now and then and say to them, say, by the way, how old are you? And you'll laugh when you answer it, when you realize how simple it is. It's explained in the handbook that will be passed to you. Alright? But Freemasons do that, 1, 3, 5, 7. It says, how old, and they call them Master Masons, they consider themselves 7. And that 7 is what? The highest point on the chakras, or the climbing of the Kundalini, the ladders of Jacob, they get to the top. As you see the Freemasonry chart, you see they have all degrees going up. And at the top they have a triangle with an eye in the triangle, and that's when you see the top, the highest so-called degree. And they'll call that 33 degrees, but in manifestation will be Hunsu. Because when they get to that so-called degree, they give you a phoenix bird looking in 2 different directions. And that's the symbol of Hunsu, the healer of ancient Egypt. And that eye is there, is looking down with it. That's the eye of Ra, the sun. They find out that the light that they've been following is really the light of the, he said, I'm the light of the world. In the Holy Quran it says Allah is the Nur Samawati wal Ard. Nur Samawati wal Ard. That means the light of the heaven, sky, and the earth. When you become the light of the sky and the earth, you are still the light of the world, because you're referring to the sun. You can't immediately adjust that and say the light of the heaven and earth means my mind or my intellect, because I just explained to you that intellect is conceived in darkness, inside the head where there is no light. The thoughts come in there and then they come back out. You follow? So when he says, I am the light of the heavens and earth, the sun. So the Freemason, after all of his traveling toward the light, finds out that the light he was traveling towards was nothing more than the sun. And all the knowledge he got was nothing more than knowledge with inside this earthly realm. Sciences, arts, fine arts, mathematics, geometry. And he's like puzzled. And a hand reaches down from heaven and pulls him up out the muck and mire if he wants to step through the mass and become a god. When he becomes a god, they refer to him as a supreme Grand Master in the Lodge, as opposed to simply a Master Mason or a Grand Master who can open and close the Lodge, but does not bear the title Supreme Grand Master. He sits in the eastern point of the Lodge, and above him is the eye of God, which is in actuality Re, the sun. He now is amongst the ranks of the Egyptian deities and inherits the responsibility of conveying the message to people on earth, if they are worthy and capable of keeping the secret. And what is the secret? The secret is hidden in the name, the sacred name. What is the sacred name? What name in Egypt is a Re and deals with a secret? Amun means the hidden one, the one who keeps the secret. And so the Freemason who walks through Jah, Baal, and on, he accepts the Bible, the Quran, and the Atum-Re, then finally gets to the Book of Dead. He's passed through the three, what they call monotheistic religions. And each one of them, at the end of their ritual, or when the light of their ritual starts to descend or end, says, Amen, Amun, or Umain. And it all ends with the same name of the same deity. And that's why in Revelation chapter 3, verse 14, he literally says, Aman, the faithful, the true. The faithful, they put a definite article to make sure that you don't think they're talking about Jesus. Well, right? Where we going? Just go and ask.
My question is from the God is a Master's book.
Yes.
Deities in your mind.
Yes.
I'm having a lot of problems in putting, like, how do I give reference to, or where do I put these deities? Is it that we follow the new principle, like if you follow justice to Maya, the that gives reference to that particular deity? Or?
No, justice is in you. You are reaching for deities that are in you. The problem is, you have reached a point. Let me say something. When a person grows up from baby to a certain height, right? Like a plant. If you plant a specific species of a plant, when it grows and it blossoms, the plant has completed its growth. It has become what it's supposed to be. Correct? Then its next stage is dying or regression. Clear? Everybody who is now the height they're going to ever be, like the plant, has what? And then what your intellect does is it blossoms outward and you grow into some type of intellectual being for those who are outside that reckoning. You've in other words grown to perfection. You've completed your growing stage. Now you stop. Because you have not died, it's only because the season for human growth and decline is longer than that of a rose or a dandelion. You follow? So now where's the next journey? The next journey is once you get complete, is back inside, all the way back to your roots. And as you pass to your roots, stop looking for deity